All right, so there's over 240 books authored by billionaires. Here are 20 of them that I think all of you should read. Uh, there are there's about 90 that I've gone through so far that found most people have not read even 10 books authored by a billionaire. And if you want to, then at least just go for the ones that are on Audible. And almost all of these are on Audible. And I'm starting out almost exclusively with Audible versions of billionaire books. This one is 50 years of mutual shareholder letters put into a book, which is really powerful. That one's not on Audible, but still worthwhile. It's a big, thick, fat book. You can find it on Amazon. I put these two at the top here because they're so short, concise, and easy to get through. You can knock it out at 1.5x speed in just an hour or two, and just see the amount of value that you just got from that. Honestly, if you listen to these 20 books, you'll get 5 times more value than you got by being here today. Because I'm not here teaching you, and this is 20 billionaires that will teach you things, right? So I encourage you to check those out. If you want the list of all 240 billionaire books, use that QR code, or there's actually the slides are in the welcome email from this morning. You can also affirm if you go the list if you just like QR codes or don't scan it in time here. But I encourage you to figure out, which set of books make the most sense for you, right? Because you're trying to collect your own set of mental models that make sense for your goals and might be different than mine. But as we go through all 240 books, we're going to be ranking the top 50 books and then the top 12. And then my hope is that out of 240 books, there's 12 that we just believe are like solid gold. And then I just want to personally go really deep on those 12. You just almost like know the books backwards and forwards and know every chapter of those 12 books, study them. It's a guide for our business we're trying to get done. But that might take us a couple of years to get that all figured out. But that's what we're in the process of doing right now. Any questions for me before we wrap up? Do we have the open room just for more networking and getting to know each other a little bit? You don't have to rush out. I think we have this space till like 5 or 5:15 or so. Excited for the next 30 minutes. But any questions for me? Any other final comments before we wrap up? What day and time do you have your what day and time for our weekly meeting? We do Monday, and it's at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time is what we do. But our team is all over the U.S., so for different people, it's different times. And it will just shift it usually if we have an event on Monday, do it on Tuesday or Wednesday. We have to. But yes. What training did you get solved? For ways to get work days, free time, and buffer days and focus days. Yeah, I'm really glad you asked that. So I love Dan Sullivan. I listen. So I do implement some of this stuff. I have buffer days allowed and focus days. And what I'm trying to do is have my Wednesdays be my buffer day. I used to have Tuesday, Thursday be buffer days. So I'm just trying to have only Wednesdays be the buffer day and have more strategic focus days on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So that's something I took away. The unique ability 2.0 workflow he has, I think, is really good for getting to know yourself as a CEO. So I got a ton of value from that. And before I joined Strategic Coach, I identified Dan Sullivan as being such a source of wisdom that for 1 year, I didn't read any books from anybody, no podcasts from anybody. This is what I'm doing now with billionaires only, but it is Dan Sullivan only. And I read every book he ever wrote, listened to all of his podcast episodes, and I got so much value from that. I joined Strategic Coach and did the $10,000, $25,000, $50,000 program. So I got to spend time with him one-on-one. And it was talking to him, and he was in the Boy Scouts, and I could recite the Boy Scout oath from memory, like the 12 values of being a Boy Scout. And I realized my daughters, even though for some strange reason they can be a Boy Scout and how they're not. And I know that you're an Eagle Scout, I believe you mentioned. But like, I realized my daughters were not getting brainwashed in a good way on the Boy Scout values. And that's when I came up with the idea that every family should have values. Every company does. So I got a ton of value from Ian Sullivan and his mental models. He's really big on the mental models there as well. So if anyone has the absolute question, he's amazing. And a lot of the people that I got coached from and learned from, like Dean Jackson, we got to sit next to at 25 different strategic coach meetings and get to know him, and Joe Polish and Evan Pagan, and a lot of the people I learned from, like Jay Abraham, et cetera, they looked up to and learned from Dan Sullivan. So kind of like swimming upstream to go to the source. And that's how I come up with the idea of like, oh, well, instead of obsessed with like what Sullivan do, kind of like what do all the billionaires do and what are the commonalities. So that's kind of along the path of getting there. But any other final questions before we break? If you have something really private as an investor, or you need help setting up a virtual family office, or you need help with something that we talked about today as a member, Jennifer is amazing for membership support questions, like doing a new member walkthrough, getting scheduled for that, learning how to get the mobile app downloaded on your phones. You can actually stream the videos. Most of us are too busy to sit at our computer at home and then stare at a conference, watch it get streamed when it's not live. And so the mobile app is super helpful for that. You can shoot me a text message if you have questions, or an email there. But the team is here to support you as well. If you have questions on membership-related questions, our events next month are called the Private Investor Playbook, and that is in Beverly Hills in California, and then in White Plains, New York. And then we have our Single Family Office Summit in October. It's a 3-day event, 120 speakers on the stage, probably 600-700 people in the room. And then our annual Super Summit at the Ritz-Carlton here in Key Biscayne, and that's in early December. I think it's like the 3rd to the 5th of December, something like that. And maybe I have that date off a couple of things happening. But anyways, the website has the dates on it. Early December for the Ritz-Carlton, and that one's going to have 120 speakers on stage and about 700 people as well. So I'll see you at a couple more events this year, and hope you got a lot out of today, and feel free to network, and hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you, everybody.